Something's not right with your kettlebell swing. What do you do? Well, in this video, we're going to give you a solution that could help you. What is that solution, Coach?
One of the things I like to start with is a squat.
Wait, that has nothing to do with a swing.
That's actually false. So regardless, the movement patterns are going to be a little different, but we as people tend to be habitual with the way we put force into the ground. So I understand you might have a little bit more horizontal displacement with your pelvis, or what you might call a hinge, but a lot of it is going to be the same. So one of the first things I'll do, whether I'm teaching someone brand new to a swing or I'm taking someone who I've rescued from the gym floor from the perils of a bad swing,
where they're crying in a corner,
I want to see them squat. And there are a few things that I'm going to look for. So go ahead and grab your bell. Do a couple squats. Now the great thing about a squat is you can slow things down. You're going to be able to see things slow that you can't normally see with a full speed swing. Let's do another one. So I don't see a lot of problems there, but he's also got a good swing, and we're not intentionally messing this up
because that's fucking lame.
But what I am looking for is I'm looking for a few things. First and foremost, I'm looking to see if he's moving through his hips or if he's moving through his back. As he's going down into the squat, what I might see is even higher up. Go ahead and come back up, all the way up. What I might see is as he gets about halfway down here, he might tuck the hips under. There we go. I might start to see folding forward. Basically, I'm looking for anything in this region or the top of his pelvis to move. Okay, all that's signaling to me. There could be other reasons why, but what it's signaling to me is he's not moving from his hip and his knee. He's moving through his spine. There's a reason there, so I might want to take a look at that. Okay. This is where I might see a little too much pressure on the toe or a little too much pressure on the heel. As he's dropping down, I want to see how he's going to balance. I want to see if he's going to stay kind of evenly on both sides. Is the bell going to track over his foot? Is it going to be way forward? Is he folding way forward? Again, too much pressure on the front or the back of the foot. That's another thing I want to watch. Lastly, and for me, most importantly, because this is the thing that I find most often, is on the way up, what moves first? So when he's all the way down on the squat, I'm watching for this and I'm watching for this. If I see, so that I don't worry about as much, that is a thing. You do want to watch for the hips to rise too soon, but what I mainly watch for is the head up or the shoulder or the back to lift. What that means, go ahead and pop up. What that means is that's somebody who's using what I call top-down movement. So they're trying to use the back muscles in order to lever the pelvis. Some other things I might want to look at is knee and the foot side to side. To move, we need to put force into the ground. The swing is no exception. So when we're watching a squat, especially on the way up, okay, if it's on the way up and the knees are caving in, he's trying to put force into the ground. If I see the knee caving in, if I see the foot rolling in, then that means he has a hard time putting force into the ground. Now, I could also see the same thing on the way down. If he's going down into the squat and I see the knees tracking way out or way in, probably means he doesn't have a ton of room in his hips. In order to get down to the bottom of the squat, you've got to be able to flex the hip. If you can't flex, you can't extend. So if I see a lot of play in and out with the knees, probably something going on with the hips that there's maybe a little bit of a restriction there. Now if I'm watching it front to back, so go ahead and turn to the side for me. I'm looking at this nice vertical line here, and I'm seeing where he is on either side of it. Forward. So come forward just a little bit. Go ahead, you can stand for this. You can stand for this. So no, just stand him straight. Move forward.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll get this, everybody.
So when we look at these big back muscles here, they attach ultimately to the pelvis. Okay. When he's down, now go ahead and go down into a squat.
Am I going to sit on that kettlebell?
If you want, whatever makes you happy. It's Friday night. Let's get
I don't want anybody to get a hold of this and make it mean.
All right. So when you're in this position, in order to stand up, the hips need to come forward to help you put force into the ground. And one of the things that can happen if people can't do this, then what's going to happen is the head's going to lift or the chest is going to lift. And as you stand up, these muscles here are going to pull the pelvis forward. You're going to get kind of a weird scooping motion. So Rather than putting force into the floor and standing up by pushing your feet straight down, what will happen is the back muscles will pull your pelvis forward. It'll then give you let's call it a mechanical advantage. You'll be able to stand up a little easier. But that's a very common problem I see with the swing, a lot of back pain. So just to recap, we're watching for motion of the hips, not for the back, okay? That's what we want. We want to see the hip, the knee, the ankle. Those are the things we want to see move. If not, then we've got to figure out how to teach somebody to move through the hips without moving through the spine, okay? That could be a core control issue, it could be a mobility issue, who knows, but at least we know where to start. Second thing we're going to watch for is the knee and the foot tracking. So if on the way down or on the way up, we see the knees moving in and out, we see the feet rolling in and out, we probably have an issue either A, lowering and making space to get lower, or B, putting force into the ground and you need to dump forward in order to do that. So I'm watching that. So is it, we could have some, again, we'll call them restrictions or mobility concerns, or maybe you just don't know how to generate force from the proper position. You may not even be in the right stance. Sometimes all the fastest fix is like, hey, you're standing too wide, you're standing too narrow, do this and everything's fixed, okay? Then from the side, we're gonna watch forward and back. Are you pitching forward? Are you folding too far forward? Is your weight on your toes versus your heels? Where are you balanced and how well are you balanced? And then the final thing I watch for is the head jerking up or the chest coming forward. Basically is lifting the kettlebell here first and then having the hips come forward after and kind of doing this little scoopy thing.
Cool. Yeah, so basically what you're saying is you want to push your feet into the ground.
Basically.
On the squat?
Yeah.
And the swing?
And the swing, same thing.
All right. So I hope that helps you understand the swing a little bit better from a different perspective. Try that, see if that helps you out. And if it doesn't,
you can leave a comment down below too.
Oh, that's probably even easier. Okay.
Imagine that.
Yeah, okay. So comment below if this is helping you or if you have more questions on that. I actually like that. Have you done this before?
Yeah,
all right, we're working on it. To help your training, download our app Bells on the Apple App Store. And there, you're going to find plenty of ways to help your kettlebells skills grow. Is that it? Stay squatty. Stay strong. Just swing.